So just thought I'd throw a quick video together just showing the progress that I've made on the car over the past week. Managed to get the driver's side door fitted after I'd finished painting that, and it had dried off enough, so that's one job done. Still on the hunt for a good passenger door if anybody knows of anything available. I was a little bit worried about the paint matching up since the can had been left over winter. I'd kept it in the house, but still was a little bit worried it may have gone off, but it seems to match. Back on with getting the bumpers sorted, just to give them a clean up to get rid of all the Genelite rust converter, and then a good wire brushing. I know these wire brushes aren't designed for the die grinder, but they do work really well for getting into all the little hard to reach places. Just spin pretty quick, and they do fly off every now and again, so if you do this, just wear some safety goggles because they can be quite nasty little bits of wire. And then once I'd got that done, it was a case of just giving it a quick sand over with the DA before epoxy primer. I need something to hold the bumpers steady while painting them, so found some more scrap bits of metal that I'd used for another frame that I'd used to hold the bonnet on. This is all 20mm box section, and then I'd got some 25mm box section as well that slides over the top of it. So on the back of the bumpers I made a bracket that goes from the bolt holes from one side to the other, and then just welded a small section of the 25mm section, which just slides straight over the top of the 20mm section. So it actually worked out quite nice and gave me a really good way to hold them. And then 2 good coats of epoxy primer on the inside and also the outside. To try and add a little bit more protection to the bumpers, I've used some Gravitech stone chip on the back of them. This seemed to be where they could capture all the moisture. Hopefully this just gives them a little bit more life and a little bit of extra protection. I use the exact same stuff underneath the car and also underneath all the arches. And then just 2 coats of high build primer on the front side of the bumpers. Then once that had gone fully dry, it was a case of guide coat and sandy tour back. Now I did rush this a little bit, so I painted them one night, came back the next morning and they looked absolutely horrendous. So they got sanded again, another guide coat and sand. I then adjusted the stand slightly so I could lean them back a little more, which helped me get the angle with the spray gun a little better, and then gave them, I think they had 4 coats of white on top of the primer. I had to try and think of a way of how to mount the bumper inserts to the frame so I could paint them and hold them steady. So I used some of the stirring sticks, just snapped them in half just to give a bit of a bend, and then masking taped them to the actual bumper part. It seemed to work alright, and then used some additional sticks just to sturdy them up a little bit so they don't blow around with the spray gun. So it seemed to be a quite cheap, easy fix. Then I'd actually painted these parts late last year with high build primer, so it was just a case of flattening these off and going over them with the base coat. That's them complete. It all seemed to go on nice and flat with a good shine. Well covered. Did get a little run just there, but I'll wet and sand that out once they're fully dried. It's on the underside, so you won't really see that anyway. The grille suffered the common issues that you get with these, where the clips break off or go brittle. So I bought one of those plastic welding guns off Amazon and just pushed in some like V-shaped clips into the top mounts, which put a bit of spring back into those and made them quite tight. And then I bought another Mark III grill that had the legs that was absolutely fine. So I chopped them off and then, using the same plastic welding gun, just joined them to this grill. So it seems to hold them really strong. So it seems to do a pretty good job. It's not the prettiest in the world, but it's solid, which is the main thing. Gave the grill a good sand, and anyway it had gone back to bare plastic, I used some plastic primer on it. Once that was done, it was a case of high build primer, then guide coat, sand back, and then the base coat on top. Again, had about 4 coats on top of this. So at this point there's only a few parts left to get painted. One of them being the wing mirror covers, which I don't think a lot of people always realise that they are actually separate to the main wing mirror. So I just had to take my time getting this off. It's got various clips around the side, and then it does use some double-sided tape, but somebody had also put a dollop of what looked like tiger seal or glue on the inside, so I just didn't want to crack them, so I just took my time with that and got them off. So we'll give them a good clean up later. And then onto the front bumper end caps and insert. So painted these again late last year just with high build primer, so it's just a case of giving these a good sand back to get them nice and smooth. Anywhere that I exposed bare plastic, again I've just gone over with some plastic primer, mounted them to the frame using the wooden stirring sticks again. They've come in really handy for this. So lots of masking tape, lots of sticks, but it's holding them really solid for any painting them, because there's nothing worse than having them blow around. I did paint some mirrors for a friend of mine's Mark IV Escort as well, so I just got them all on at the same time and give them a good blast over with the paint. Always start off as light as possible and then leave it for about 15 minutes. The garage was about 17 degrees Celsius, so about 15 minutes for the first coat, and then just go over with some heavier coats after that. Nice shine on them all, good even coverage, so pretty happy with that. And that's how the car looks with the bumper loosely mounted to it. The front end caps and inserts aren't fully dry yet, so I won't bother putting them on, but they'll be done for the next video. Once again, thank you very much for watching.